Good afternoon. In the meantime this week, I wanted to talk about the notion of a wrathful God. Reading the New York Times, I caught a quotation, an article about a University of Chicago Divinity School study that found among Americans older than 18, 34% believe prohibiting in-person religious services violates freedom of religion. And then since the coronavirus outbreak, those with a religious affiliation engaging in pro-social behaviors, that is, like taking care of your neighbors, were 61% versus 39% of those who had no religious affiliation. So perhaps Christians should pat ourselves on the back, or Muslims or Jews. 43% blame the coronavirus outbreak on foreign governments, 37% blame the U.S. government, and 11% attribute the outbreak to God's punishment for human sinfulness. Adults with religious affiliation were more likely to support protests against freedom of assembly and stay-at-home orders than those with no religious affiliation. So part of these results, with a margin of error plus or minus 4.2%, I offer no comment because they venture into that delicate world of politics. But for this reflection, I wanted to think about why 11% of Americans believe that God is punishing us and punishing the world for our sinful behavior by inflicting the COVID-19 virus on us. It all boils down to one's understanding of God and religious motivations, which in turn often connects to one's family of origin and strategies we develop as children to survive the journey to post-adolescence. While the points I offer here are generalizations, I found a few typologies that cover a wide range of religious motivations. Now, this is one time where print may actually speak louder than words. So I'm going to show you this chart I developed. And it breaks down into columns of the child's home environment, the child's religious environment, and what the resulting religious motivations are for the adult. In the home environment column, we have two situations. One is what I would call the dysfunctional household, emotionally out of control parent, outburst of rage, shame, and blame. And then you have the second kind of household, a loving, supportive household with a strong extended safety net for the child. The next column is the child's religious environment. You've got literal Bible interpretation. In that case, God is wrathful and angry, humans are sinful. The message is shape up or you'll go to hell. And then the second variable in here is liturgical churches that stress God as a God of love. They stress people can be redeemed, and there's very little emphasis on heaven or hell. You cross those two columns with each other, and you get a situation where 1 out of 8 is a fearful adult who desires going to heaven above all else, and a tendency to blame others for distress. That's the 11% they found in the article. At the other end, you get people who are fortunate enough to have both of those backgrounds I mentioned, and they end up as healthy, functioning human beings. Some continue with church, but if no nearby church is consistent with their religious background, they do not attend. So you get 11, 12% at both ends, and you get 75% in the middle who don't attend any church. In genetics, this kind of simple model would involve 2 genes, or what we call dihybrid crosses. The ratios of the outcomes are 1 to 3 to 3 to 1. And you can blame it on a priest who has a math and physics background. But the fact that we end up with 11% are fearful, 11% go to church, and the vast middle of 75% don't go to church at all. Does that explain a few things to you?